Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We'll continue here in Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz. Today is day number 136, and we're continuing here, and we'll conclude the chapter today of Gazel, of robbery, stealing from others. How careful a person has to be when stealing from the masses, from the general population. You're increasing the number of prohibitions of stealing when there's the general populace involved than when you're just stealing from one individual person. And if when you stole from one person, it's very difficult to return the stolen object that was already consumed, that you took, that you devoured it, that you already used it, you took the money, you took the possession, and you did something with it. Alachas kama v'kama, all the more so. Hagoizel es harabim, when you steal from more than one person, shekasha tshuvaso, your tshuva is going to be very difficult. And therefore be very careful when you're dealing with people, with groups, with communities. Do not steal from them. You can be over, you can transgress many averas of stealing. And if you have to give taxes to the congregation, similarly, and you pay off with bad money. Now this maybe was more prevalent in the olden days where the coinage was not made the way that we make it. You don't get a bad quarter today. You don't get a bad $50 today. You don't get a bad dollar. But in those days, the coins could be wearing out. They could not be worth what they once were. And you use that to pay. And therefore you cause the rabbim to lose out because they have money now that they can't really use completely. Gezel harabim b'yodam. You have the thievery, the theft of the rabbim, of the congregation in your hands. There's so many different variants of stealing. And so many ways of heter, what a person believes is permitted, that he convinces himself, and his Yetzirah teaches him, yeah, you're doing the right thing, don't worry about it. He doesn't come and ask, what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu really want from him? And to listen to the teachings of the Torah that's going to keep him on the straight path. And therefore it says the Pele Yoetz how careful a person must be that they don't fall into the pitfalls, into the trappings over here of Gezel. And there's another type of robbery that a person commits where he cannot be held accountable here in this world. But he's stealing in the laws of heaven. So something happened with him and his friend, and he decides, you know what, I'm going to take this person to the Din Torah, I'll take him to the Beis Din. Beis Din will decide what's going to go on over here. And he's going to come along, and he's going to extract the money from his friend in a Beis Din. Now he's coming in a way that is very unruly, and the truth of the matter is that the case would not really warrant that he should get the money, but he presents it in such a way to the Beis Din that he makes his friend look like he's in the wrong, and he's going to end up winning the case. He has his eyes, which means he misread the situation over here. He thinks that his friend owes him the money, and he's wrong. And he's going to end up now bringing him to Beis Din. He's going to run a convincing case over here, and he's going to end up causing a damage to his friend. Even though that perhaps he's not doing this with rebelliousness, nor is he doing this in a bad way. He's really trying to be honest and sincere over here when he brings his friend to Beis Din, and he has a b'nikoyim kapav, and he has clean hands, like he would allow for the same thing to happen with his own money. And even if we could be convinced that the person that is being tried over here, he deserves to pay. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not pleased with this person. va'oiver al of chesed. He's withholding chesed from his friend. Va'oiver al v'yaftilecha kamaycha shuvchal gadol v'dar, and he transgresses the great principle of loving your fellow Jew the way you love yourself. Meaning, says the Pele Yoetz, if you make a mistake and you misread the situation, and you think that your friend owes you money, he was doing injustice to you, and maybe you're being sincere, and maybe you're not even trying to get him, you're just trying to protect yourself, but you misunderstood what's going on over here, so you were not forgiving enough and not understanding enough, and you didn't check it out enough, and therefore you're causing a loss and damage to your friend. You're not only you're a gazlan, but you're transgressing v'aftilecha kamaycha. It says in the Gemara, Adam nika b'kisai, you can recognize a person in his pocket. How do you recognize him in his pocket? The way that he deals with his money. That's how you know, is he a generous person? Is he a genuine person? Is he a loving, caring, compassionate person? Or is he just simply out there to try to get the money back for himself? Well, and the Issa of Gezel is very, 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 very sharp and strict, and Tshuva is very difficult to do. Even if you steal one little coin, 5 cents, a penny, a dime from your friend, it's like you stole from his nefesh, and you stole from his sons and his daughters. Because and as long as the gezel, the stolen object, is still in your hands, there is no hope for you. There's never going to be an atonement. And certainly if you ended up destroying or consuming that which you stole, it's impossible, impossible to return. And therefore, the person who fears Hashem, he has to be very careful and guard himself well. Any little drop of gezel that there might be, guard yourself from it. Don't do it. When it comes to business, you have to do it faithfully, according to halacha. Even if you're really pressed for money and it's very, very difficult, and the creditors are pressing you with pain and beatings and the like to get their money, just because you're in difficult times, don't turn to a life of robbery and theft and be out there on the streets robbing people and their monies and coming up with schemes and plans and Ponzi schemes and the like to make money. It's better a person should die in hunger than rather to be a rush in front of Hashem for even 1 hour, 1 moment. Those that seek HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they will not be lacking anything. Hashem will not withhold the good from those that go in purity with Hashem. So it's really up to you, up to us, the way that we're going to deal with our monies, the way we're going to deal with our finances, the way we're going to deal with the pressures that are building up around us. Says the Pele Yoetz, be careful. It's so easy to fall into gezel in so many different ways. We have to be strong. We have to go b'tamim, sincerely, purely, innocently with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And in that way, loy yechasru chol tov, you will not be lacking any good in your life. All the best.